for the people at home listening, Stu is punching his computer repeatedly today. Okay, we'll start with a rant, okay? I just finished up 2 or 3 big projects, and I'm kind of doing a hard drive scrub. I'm doing a little reset on things, doing a little maintenance after I beat the shit out of my Mac Studio for a while.
Output sessions and such.
Yeah, just getting shit off the drive I don't fucking need anymore. I like to edit in on my actual hard drive, and then offload to the SSDs later, just because I've had a few issues in the past where the SSD just didn't keep up with my data from Star Trek: The Next Generation speed of fingering.
Welcome to 2 Shots and a Royalty Check, brought to you by Venmo, Your Money, Your Move, and Liquid Death, Murder Your Thirst. Let's get back into it.
That's what she said. And
Captain.
So I was doing that, and I've had a fucking hell. I was also cleaning up. I found a bunch of old backups for a computer I no longer have, and so I was like, okay, I can just get rid of those. I don't fucking need those. This is all backed up to to hell at the hand backup point. I got online drives. I've got a wireless hard drive sitting in a closet, attached to the Wi-Fi that's constantly just dumping shit off to it. And I have my my glyphs attached to the computer. And I'll be damned if Apple said no.
Yeah.
Trying to delete. No, you do not get to delete this backup drive.
It'd be good if we were doing video, but that's my backup drive for... This is the Seagate 5 terabyte for backups.
Yeah.
And this is the big-ass backup drive for the backup drive. And then I have my little Samsung 1 terabyte SSDs, my little array that I usually go into.
Yeah.
I am paralyzed by backups and can never fucking find anything. and I have so many drives that say drive, and then it says like Michael's folder from 2000 whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like all of that information right there that I never can get to.
Yeah.
And it's just like the one thing that Macs suck at is search.
Yeah.
On Macs.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need every file that has a 2 in it.
Yeah.
Search in 2ShotsMusicPod, it's like brings up every single everything that has a 2 in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why don't you just specify whether it's an executable or whether it's a picture? No, just give me the fucking file name. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. This reminds me.
It is maddening how. You know what kills me? I mean, I love Logic. I do. I actually do. I prefer Logic over. I've used all of them. And for me, I get Pro Tools is really good for mixing and really good for multi-instrumental, big, huge, studio tracks. You definitely should use that. But I know a lot of studios are using Logic now too, and that's fine. It's grown, but it's just what I know. It's what I like.
Yeah.
But here's what's hilarious: every time this shit happens, it sticks in my head that it's called Logic. Half of this shit doesn't make sense. Why isn't that going there? Why do I have to? Why is the bus turning off? Why isn't I? And it's it's logical. It's not logical.
It is not logical at all. At all.
No.
Take that.
Let me ask you a question about Logic while we're on that. Are you a color track guy? Do you color do you do colors on your vocals or your drums, or do you do colors on
that's a really good question.
On your it was so funny because I was going to open up my volume bars here. And it was like a signed channel strip of color, and I'm like, why would I do that? I've never done that.
Yeah. I thought I thought you were asking a different question, but as far as organizational pieces, I color my bars.
You're not just looking at gray I am?
No, well, not when I'm doing if I'm doing a multi-instrument session and I have 16 tracks of drums, and say especially for example, I did a session a couple weeks ago where I had to actually grab a section, chop another section up, move the whole kit, drop a section in there, kind of play with where the fade was going to be, and blah blah blah. If I hadn't had that highlighted, colored, and grouped, it would have been an absolute fucking nightmare to do that.
Right.
So
I wonder, like, are you people out there? Are you grouping colors? Are you doing them? And if so, what colors? So, like, are your drums green?
No.
Are your vocals purple? What do you have a specified color?
Yeah, my drums are always red.
Drums are red.
Yeah.
What's your bass?
Bass is blue, like a sea blue.
Let's build it up here.
Yeah.
Red to blue.
Yeah.
And guitars?
Guitars are orange. Orange to yellow, yes.
Orange to yellow. So do you do like different colors for overdubs, rhythm, lead?
No, I do different colors for acoustic guitar versus electric guitar.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that way, because usually I've got a different series of mics on electrics than I do on acoustics, and I want to know I'm going to treat them differently.
Right. What about keyboards or extra instrumentation?
They are
strings?
Green for keys, and blue for vocals, like a darker blue for vocals.
Am I blue?
And usually I have every single session I have is structured: drums, bass, usually guitars or whatever chord instrument, and then vocals at the bottom.
Oh, okay. So you build from the bottom down.
Yes, on the screen I do. Yes.
See, I'm just so fucking old school. I can't stand it. I have to look from the bottom up. Vocals are always on top.
Yeah.
Of course, fucking lead singer would of course do it that way.
The session always opens on the top of the screen. It never opens on the bottom. So that's why
but that's how I do it. Well, is that I add all those tracks first.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so I just gave myself away. That's how stupid I am, is that I will be scrolling down. What I do is I minimize those tracks. So I minimize up, and then whatever else I'm working on. Like right now, I have 4 tracks open. I'm only recording on one, mono.
Yeah.
But I have like a channel strip one, and intro and outro. Like I have, this is a template.
Yeah.
But normally, like if I'm doing a session and I have instrumentation, I go down to the drums and I record the drums down there.
Yeah.
And then I go up to the bass, and then I go up to the guitar. And then by the time I'm done, I'm putting the vocals on top, which you've seen some of those outputs that I've given you. There can be 10 vocal tracks, and but they're all at the top. Yeah,
they're all the same.
It's because I'm just used to seeing it that way. Drums on the bottom, vocals on the top.
Yeah, I always like, if I'm recording a session, whenever you add a new series of tracks, it always adds them on the bottom if you don't specify. Like, it usually adds after the last track that's highlighted, and that's usually underneath. So that's just the way that I've built. So for me, I am building from the bottom up, but the bottom just happens to be the first thing I see. So the bottom is first, because So, but I mean,
you're building from the bottom up in that the first thing you do foundationally is the bottom.
Yeah,
but visually it's the top down.
Yeah, visually it's top down. But it's funny, like the drum editing process. Like, I think that in any recording process, drums and vocal, with regards to this type of music, drums and vocals are the 2 most important things. And I'd actually should probably say vocals then drums. But I think that one without the other doesn't work. Like, so when I mix, my drums and my vocals are the 2 most present things. They're the things that are giving you a sense of mood and a sense of rhythm. So that's just
timing and rhythm. Yeah.
And so I always start with drums, just because I'm like, since that's where my sense of feeling comes from, how I feel about the music. Like, I always said that melody and chords are mental and rhythm is physical. It's like, like, so if you go with that visceral physical feeling first, that's, so I want the drums to feel good first. Right.
Yeah.
So,
tempo.
and then, like, I'll put the bass on that, and then I'll put the guitars, and then it's just kind of like nudging everything in, like into each other. But the drums are so fucking important to me that, I will spend more time. And, speaking of lead singers, watch them all get angry with how much time I spend with the drummer. That poor fucker's neglected on every single gig. And I'm gonna, hey buddy, I'm gonna give you some love today. Let's spend some time getting your tones perfect, because it's about the only place where if I needed to fix something, drums are really fucking hard to fix after the fact, because they're, as much as you've got 16 or to 18, maybe 20, depending on how you're miking stuff, however many microphones, you are recording one instrument, that's a living, breathing thing that goes into 16 to 20 different microphones.
Right.
So like everybody goes, well, why don't you just edit that kick drum there? I said, well, if I edit the kick drum, then I have to edit the overhead, then I have to edit the tom mic, then I have to edit the snare mic, and then I have to edit everything, because that kick drum, I can gate shit, but the decay of that instrument is in every single microphone. So I'm working with a living thing that I can't just take the direct mics and move them without addressing the fact that it sounds fucking weird that the overhead, there's a kick that's like a fraction of a second earlier because you didn't play it right. See, I'm fucking with the drummers again. And well,
you got two choices: either play it again, or I can fix that one little part.
Yeah. What would you like to do?
But I think this is where hip hop producers really have been ahead of the game. Like, I've talked to a lot of really, really good hip hop producers and really dance music in general. And it's like they will spend, and I mean, you've seen this with Timbaland on videos and stuff, where they'll spend weeks to get the perfect BPM of the beat and the perfect swing against that before you touch anything else, before you put bass on it or anything, because you can't change it once it goes. Everything's based on that feel, that tempo.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop us on our rant here, and let's look at that fucking rundown. Kelsey, where's the rundown?
By the way, I have told Kelsey, our producer, she needs to get on social media. She is one of those crazy people that isn't on anywhere, and she may get on social media. I've bet her. I made a bet.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing what she has to say to the internet.
It's just going to be, she's like, I'll just get on there and bitch about you guys. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I was like, it'd be interesting to hear what a producer thinks about it. So, but yeah. So yeah, I just, I'm excited about a bunch of things that are going on.
Say more.
In music right now that are interesting to me. I don't know what you want to get to first. I think.
Hey, the first thing on the rundown just says start talking, and I think we did that.
Again, we've done that. Can you hear her in your ear? You've done that. Thank you.
I have her so low in my. It's like
it's almost like I can't.
It's
hear
almost
her.
like I can't hear her. Well, no.
Ouch.
It's like all I hear is the. Like the.
I just wanted to say that so I did. Well, I don't know. I don't know what you want to get to. I've got so many things. First of all, let's get into the end of Ted Lasso, Succession, and Barry.
And I'm going to add.
I got to fucked for Sync of the Week. I had someone ask me, "What's Stu's Sync of the Week going to be this week?" I was like, "Well, I can tell you what it's probably not going to be next week."
I don't have anything from the finale of Ted Lasso. I don't have, and also I will add Mrs. Maisel in there. One of the most beautiful shows on television as far as like a visual aesthetic goes. I will say that my Sync of the Week is definitely from Barry, the finale.
Okay.
So anyway, because and it was fucking amazing.
Let me sidebar here really quick. I just started Mrs. Maisel.
Oh my God.
Because of you, and it's been on my list for 6 years, 5 seasons, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so the other night we were like, okay, I've got all this stuff that's adding up, like, what are we going to watch?
Yeah.
I want to watch this, Yeah. Just none of it was hitting right. And so it was like, well, let's start Mrs. Maisel. And so we did and got into episode 3 already.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, I totally get it. I am all fucking in on this. Like how the story arc changes within 2 episodes.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
So I'll shut up about that because nobody cares. Everybody's like, duh, welcome.
It's so fucking good. And it is the production design on that show. I want to find whoever I mean, we could look it up. I want to go find them. I want to go to their house and, have them set their German Shepherds on me. And then, as I'm crawling to
kiss them with consent.
I want to shake their hand and tell them, thank you so much for caring so much about this aesthetic. Because it's the first show that really, that was for me. I know there's been other shows, I think, that have had that kind of vibe where you're like, they really gave a shit about every single piece of this. Couple that Mad Men, absolutely, but like the set design, the overall look of the show is a character in itself, and also they do a lot of that single shot shit. Where you they're all so fucking good.
Yeah, it's somebody that likes Wes Anderson too. I just saw a shot walking in the factory, and it's like single shot, dolly shot, driving across, guy walking, but everyone else is stable, and it's a square, it's a rectangle. It's like, hello, I know this one. A little wink and a nudge. All right, anyway, but so
go ahead.
The end of Ted Lasso, the end of Succession, the end of Barry, the end of Mrs. Maisel. This is a big moment. Like we're like, this is a lot of appointment television. These are shows that obviously have had a huge cultural effect on me. I mean, they've had a huge effect on me personally. A huge effect on music.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Succession, perhaps one of the best title sequence songs ever.
Would it make you sad to know I haven't seen one episode of it yet, and it keeps yelling at me to watch it?
That's good, because now we're even. I don't have Mrs. Maisel. And,
all right, fine. All right, fine.
But it is one of the only TV shows. I mean, I don't know if people that have partners, if you watch shows, if you have a partner that doesn't like listening to the intro all the time, they like skipping the intro all the time. I want the music, right? If I like the music, I want to hear the music. It gets me in to the show.
Ted Lasso was definitely that for me. I like that intro. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not even a Mumford fan, and I'm like, this might be, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm here. Yeah. I'm here. This is the feeling I want. Yeah. Succession is the same way. This piano thing that has an 808 on it.
Oh, cool. I'm into it.
You'll hear it and you'll like it, but it is one of the only ones I'm like, I'm starting. Yeah. And I turn up the TV and I fake play the piano part and the orchestra on my coffee table when I'm sitting on the ground.
Awesome.
I literally do that. I have done that for 3 seasons. Yeah. Every single time I've watched it. Curb is another one.
Oh, God, I love that show.
I will listen to that intro every time. Yeah. And it's by that Italian guy, and there's a whole story behind that.
That Italian guy, he said in quotation marks.
But so, let's unpack. Let's get to Ted Lasso first. How do you feel? How you doing?
I love it. I want to,
because there should be a new one. Secret time, as Bert Kreischer would say. There would be a new one yesterday or today. Yeah. So the withdrawals are real, y'all.
Not really. And I'm going to lean into this because there's 4 shows that are now, like as we talked about with Barry, Ted Lasso. What was the other one? There was a third one you said?
Maisel and Succession.
So I'm actually pretty happy with the fact that I've got a few shows that we've got a few shows that we're watching. We're watching Silo on Apple, which is really great as well. I love a really well designed sci-fi universe.
Westworld in a tunnel.
Except without as much. There's not as much fucking violence in it.
No.
But it's, Rebecca Ferguson.
Dialogue driven.
Very dialogue driven. Rebecca Ferguson is yes. But like the thing that's really nice for me is it's summertime here. It's beautiful. Sorry for those of you that are listening way too late. Kelsey, stop yelling at me about that.
That's not evergreen content.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm actually okay with that because it allows me to do other things. Like, I we would watch Maisel every Friday morning, when it would come out. And Friday mornings have always been kind of a really mellow time. Like Katie would be playing with the symphony. I'd have a gig that night, and we'd have these Friday mornings where we'd watch Maisel and just bask in how beautiful it is and enjoy that. We do the same thing on Tuesday nights because Ted Lasso would typically come out Tuesday night before Wednesday morning, and we'd watch it Tuesday night. And we've got other things we're doing now, and we're okay with that. And I'm there'll be things come up that I'm going to replace it with, but I've been polishing off a whole lot of shows and okay with not replacing them. For every 4 that I'm finishing.
Maybe I need to create some more shit instead of watch stuff. Yeah. I'm with you. I feel the same way.
It's I have really been enjoying From. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, so dude from Lost, who I remember his name.
Is that on CBS?
It's on MGM, but the first season is available on Amazon, on Prime. And it is... I really don't want to give anything away about it.
Okay, then don't.
So I'm not going to. But the first episode sets...
Why'd you bring it up?
The first ignore everything I just said. There was no show for you to watch. Get out of here with your crazy shit. I got my best friend's husband, Scott, has been yelling at me for over a year to watch this show. Dude, hey man, you gotta watch that show. You gotta watch it. It's so good. His voice is very deep, and he's very.
You guys don't know who he is.
He's very tall.
That is a damn good impression.
Spiralcell.com. Go check it out. You'll see some
Spiralcell.com.
fucking weird,
go get the comic.
Awesome, great music.
Find his YouTube channel.
And he's got a YouTube channel about all this stuff. But he's been barking at me for a while, like, you gotta watch this show. And I was like, fine, fuck it, I'll watch it. And the first episode, there is no question that you are in for an adult horror sci-fi show. There's no fucking around here. You get dropped in the middle of this universe where you have no idea what's going on.
This is a whole lot of talking about not talking about it.
It's so good. It's so good.
Okay, very quickly,
anyway.
we actually should pimp him out. Scott Ewell.
Yeah.
UHL. Go search that shit on YouTube. He has an awesome growing YouTube channel that people that listen to this would find very helpful. He does a lot of instruments and like accessories
wireless,
for bands and
MIDI,
stuff, wireless,
that kind of stuff.
How to build your own IEMs, all of like the he has shootouts and product like product assessments and unboxings and stuff. Like, it's really good if you're a musician, if you're at all inclined to instrumentation. Go find it, Scott Ewell, UHL on YouTube, and blow up his YouTube because it's really good.
Really good. It's giving you a lot. It's a lot of information. Actually, I'll ask him, hey man, can you help me? He goes, hey, go watch this video from.
Go watch the video where he did it.
I already did this, you dumbass.
By the way, you know what to fix that? Blockchain.
Yeah. Scott is also a massive crypto fan.
He's a crypto bro, but he's a smart crypto bro.
All right, so the other thing is so that's the one new show that I started. I finished Hunters. I finished all the shit on Prime. I started watching Citadel. I kind of didn't care. It's very pretty, but I'm like looking at it, I'm going, okay, these shows that I love are ending. Ted Lasso, I will rewatch again probably once a year. It's going to be a new West Wing for me. Kind of thing. West Wing, Gilmore Girls, and New Girl, and Parks and Rec. Those are the ones that are kind of a yearly nighttime sleepy show for me. But on the other side of the coin, I'm reading 4 books right now. I'm listening to 2 different audiobooks. I'm like consuming a lot of stuff in other ways because I want to do other things. Okay, I'm done with my shows are done. That's cool. I don't feel the same sadness I used to, and also I think that they're going to do a Richmond spinoff for Ted Lasso.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into. Is do you think? I mean, are you sad the show's over? Not that you don't have a show to watch.
No, I'm not sad the show is over, and it's not because
you think the arc was. I
think the arc was perfect.
They did it. They ended it at the right time.
Well, imagine. I think that I was talking the other day about this. There's not enough as a creative person. If I have a thing that I'm creating, I'm a fan of the BBC model, which is here's our story, here's how long it's going to take, here's how much money we'll need to make it, and after that, fuck off, right? So because I think
the kings of the limited series.
Exactly. I mean, even like fucking Doctor Who,
except for Doctor Who,
but it does have a limited arc. Like every story has a limited. It's like here's our 12 episodes, and
of this
Who. And then we'll change it. We'll bring a new showrunner in. And we'll try. It's kind of like a public domain property at this point in time. Hey, bring that guy in. He seems to know. Just hello. I have an idea for Doctor Who. We'll make him a dog this time. It's like that kind of stuff. But I feel like Ted Lasso had the perfect arc. 3 seasons done. Maisel was fucking great. The arc was Barry was where it started to where it ended. Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't want to see another Lost again. Right. Lost had about two seasons in the middle that did not fucking need to be there. But that was all because they didn't know where they were going with it. They didn't have the story mapped out.
Well, and I think with these, 3 or 4 shows, I think that we can X out 2 of them. And spoiler alert here, turn this off.
Kelsey.
But spoiler alert, Kelsey's like, do not turn off the podcast. Do not tell them that. But Barry in Succession
not going to have spinoffs.
Go any further.
No.
And so, it is what it is. And so I like the arcs that had to go on there.
I disagree about Barry. I don't know about Succession, but I think that there's a
Well, there's one.
Yeah.
Right? Fuchs.
No.
Oh, you want to see the Fuchs story from here?
I want to see the Fuchs backstory, but the story from here I want to know is I can't say without giving a spoiler away, but there's the last scene of the episode.
Okay, yes.
That character.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
There you
go. Will they go down the same road?
Yeah. Exactly.
Are there reverberations from your parents? Yeah, that's true. So let's do Ted Lasso here really quick. The finale, I thought, was executed perfectly.
Yeah,
and it's hard to say that there's so many things that happen with a finale that it's hard to wrap it. It was a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but the reason why, Brett Goldstein, Bill Lawrence, the people that are behind writing it, the guy that plays the Beard, all the people that were behind writing it, what I loved about it is that you knew he was going to leave, right? Like it starts there.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a little bit of pushback of like, can't we get you to stay? But really, at no point did you think
Ted was gonna
he was going to stay.
Yeah.
They didn't play that trope of like, is he gonna, or is he, or isn't he?
Yeah.
And all of those like typical, tropes that play into TV shows, they were deftly handled.
Yeah.
Where it was like, we're going to give that to you.
Yeah.
But really, this is just like when you're leaving and you're moving to another country.
I have no idea what you mean.
And I mean, like you in your own life, you're moving to another country and you have like a 2-week long procession of friends and wrapping up things. And it's just lovely. And they did it so well where it was like, it was fun to end the show.
Yeah.
Like so few, like Succession wasn't fun to end the show. I mean, it was glorious.
Yeah.
But Ted Lasso, I had fun watching that.
Yeah.
It was like we were all saying goodbye, and it's okay, and it can be sad and happy at the same time.
Yeah.
And you can wonder about everybody, and there's some story arcs that they kind of show at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought even the whole thing with Rebecca, there was this like scene where, and I don't care if I spoil this, like if you're not into this by now, if you aren't watching Ted Lasso, you got a ways to go until you're going to get here. But where she's basically, I can't convince you to stay. You already know your decision, right? And he just basically is silent in this moment where the two of them are talking together, and then she basically says, and this is just great writing. She goes, and this is where you're going to tell me you're going to sleep on it, and then we'll get up in the next day and we'll have the same conversation.
Yeah.
Or the whole, this is the rom-com part where he runs off the plane to go to his, and I want to run into someone's arms. They mention it.
Yeah.
They break down that fourth wall of what they're doing. Like in the show, they're saying in a show, this is what we would do.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. This is real life. And they handled that so well, I thought.
Yeah. You know what's funny is Katie pointed out to me that throughout the last season, she's like, Ted's saying less. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
And I said, I did. I noticed that everybody else is doing
disappearing and stepping back.
Everybody has been affected by the Lasso way and is able to do this on their own now and have that hope and have that belief and all that kind of stuff together. And oh my God, a sidebar. There's a soccer player who used to play for Juventus and I can't remember the guy's fucking name.
Zatlan.
Thank you. Have you read all the fucking...
Yes, I tweeted out, I can't wait to have his avocado.
Oh my God. It wasn't until I read all that shit that I was aware of how fucking Zava that guy, except for like he's way more violent. You know?
Yeah.
He's definitely an angry...
Yeah, the real guy. The real guy. Way more violent.
Yes. Jesus Christ. So we noticed that like Ted was speaking less and less. Now, the other part is I get shrinking still. I still get my Brett Goldstein in my life because I love that he is also the creator of this stuff. And he's doing stand-up tours and he says fuck a lot. And I'm very, very grateful that person's presence as a creative is in my life, and in my life on the level it's in, because now I have a new thing to be excited about and a new thing to inspire me and drive me. I'm really glad that Scrubs was a very big influence on me. It's part of the reason that my close friend Trevor and I are very close, because we were in a band together and he made a Scrubs reference and I was the only one in the room that got it, and we were like, did we just become best friends? Yep. You know.
What was the reference? Do you remember? Was it
Eagle? and I went so,
because I'll make one every now and then and go wrong, and someone will go, I got it.
Yeah, I got you.
Sort of
Dr. Cox is my hero.
Yeah.
His apartment might be one of the most 1900s to early 2000s looking apartments I've ever. It looks like the
late 19th century.
It looks like the waiting room for Dr. Katz.
I guess that'd be 20th century.
Yeah,
1900s. Yeah, sorry.
I knew what you meant though. But I can see it in my head. It's the waiting room for a dentist in the 1900s. It's like it's what it looks like. Anyway, I'm very grateful that I have these new creatives in my life that I'm inspired by and lifted by, and I really like whenever I'm feeling blue, I can watch a few episodes of Ted Lasso and I will feel better. And there's so many isms about that character. And one of what they handled the mental health piece of that so beautifully. The fact that somebody even as positive and uplifting as Ted had, especially in that second season, the way that was handled was exceptional, and it allowed people to have a conversation about it that I think wasn't able to be had before. And I'm just, even though the shows are over, I'm grateful that. I think that's probably why I'm not sad about it and I'm not mad I don't have anything to watch anymore. I'm grateful that it happened. That's that's the sign of maturity.
Don't be sad it's over. Smile that it happened.
That's both my ex-wives right there. Drink.
Look, I know it is recency bias probably a little bit. So, check back within me in a few months or whatever. But I really do think it was, if not the best finale, series finale that I've ever seen.
Not even Cheers? You think it beats Cheers?
No,
or
I
MASH?
I do. And MASH. And definitely Seinfeld.
Okay.
And definitely Sopranos.
I will say yes to Seinfeld.
And here's why. Because all of those attempted to do a little bit of, let's take you down, memory lane and show you some of the reoccurring characters, the weird ones that were in this. With the court hearing in Seinfeld, with the people coming in and out of the bar, and Rebecca showing back up in Cheers, that sort of thing. Yeah. And even though they did, but with the picture on the wall in the bar that May moves, that was a hat tip to Cheers to the finale.
Yeah.
So look that up if anybody's interested. Yeah. But so they all attempted that, but because Ted Lasso was only 3 seasons, they were actually able to do it. Yeah. The psychologist, the people in the square, the fans, Trent Krim, every single little character that you're like, oh my God, that's right, that was awesome. Yeah. The Rebecca's friend, who was a real big part of the first season, her mom, Which, by the way, that woman, Rebecca's mom, that woman, she's in Silo.
Oh, yeah.
She's in like tons of shit. She needs to win an Emmy this year. She's done such a great job.
Yeah.
I don't know her name. We'll look it up later. But they were able to touch all of those little points, including the most famous referee from the Premier League.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And like, so there was like little touches like that were just so impressive to me, to be able to touch all of those points and like, here, just show it to you a little bit. Here's just a little bit. And everybody was in it.
Yeah.
And they executed it, and none of it felt forced.
Yeah.
You know, so you got the wife watching with the kid and her new boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he hates soccer, so you have all of America is represented there. You know, you've got the psychologist, the psychiatrist, you know, on her bed screaming about the final. Everybody's brought together. So I mean, you know, she is not really in it, but you know that she's around still, and then you find out later on. But so all of them got to be as part of it, and I just thought they executed that so well. And I will say it was the best finale that I've seen in terms of being able to wrap a whole thing and me feel satisfied that I've gone on this full circle journey with you. Boy, do you
circle
say
journey.
Circle journey. So that's why I thought it was great. And, you know, likewise, Barry kind of had a little bit of that, where kind of everyone in the last 2 or 3 episodes kind of ended up back in the arc again.
I think Anthony Carrigan
either by flashback or whatever.
I think Anthony Carrigan deserves all of the awards for NoHo Hank. I mean, I kind of developed my man crush on him when he was on Gotham as Victor Zsasz. And but NoHo Hank, what a fucking arc.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And what a character that's been brought into this world.
Yeah.
That just burns so bright.
Yeah.
By the way, if you get a chance, search him out on The Hike with Kevin Nealon on YouTube.
Okay, I'm into that.
Kevin Nealon does these hikes with people. He does it with the actor that played NoHo Hank. And it's great because he brings it up a little bit, and it's fun to watch him, you know, in the wilderness of LA walking with Kevin Nealon trying to make jokes, and then he kind of he drops into Hank a little bit.
North Hollywood Henry. I think that he had my favorite. I'm gonna spoil a little bit. There was a line where he said, "Don't sell yourself short, Todd. That's a shitload of coos," and it was my favorite line. I like laughed at it for about 15 minutes after that. That was in the last season. It's so good, and
But let me bring up something about Barry that I really want to. I want to bring this up about Bill Hader. I'm a huge fan of Bill Hader as a writer and now as a director.
Oh my God!
He opened my eyes on his vision as an auteur. And I love that. However, I'm happy for him to end this and bury it because I want to see cracking up Bill Hader a lot more. I want to see more Stefan kind of Hader, more Bill Hader with John Mulaney. I hope that they are able to work on the next project. But you know, whatever he's going to do next can't nearly be as dark as this, because I'm sure he and his wife and his kids are like, honey, let's lighten it up a little bit.
Well, the funny that was
after these 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, the first season is nothing like this. Like where it ended up is like it was
fun.
My God.
The first season was fun.
Yeah.
The last season was literally a horror movie.
It was fucking Breaking Bad. It was. I mean, there were moments of levity, like there isn't anything, but it was very, very dark. You know.
And by the way, moments of levity. One of the best cameos of the year is Bill Burr as the podcaster in the car saying that it's okay to kill people sometimes.
Katie was the one that caught the voice. She was like, is that Bill Burr? I was like, yes. Looked it up. I was like, it fucking is.
Just one little phone in. He didn't even have to show up to set. Good for you, Bill. You got it.
I loved it. Yeah,
I love Bill Burr's acting career now.
The Mandalorian.
I mean, he's in the Star Wars universe, for Christ's sake. He's on everything. He's on a bunch of shit. But so that's Barry, and I'm glad that the kids know who Henry Winkler is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I mean, Stephen Root has been around for a long time, and it's great to see him get his flowers.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to have to burn down the building.
Yeah.
It's Office Space.
Yeah.
Go look up at Office Space if you want to see Stephen Root.
Wasn't he
it.
in Just Shoot Me as well with David Spade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was also in News Radio.
That's right.
And there's
maybe it was News
just
Radio,
so
not
things.
Just Shoot Me. Maybe it was News Radio I'm thinking of. But I know.
I think it was News Radio.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But so I love that the Barry arc is over. I'm so excited to see what the hell Bill Hader does next, and I'm glad that he's free from this.
I think that's the thing that I'm feeling about all of this stuff is like as creative people, I am excited to see what these people do next. You know?
Yeah, it's like finishing a huge album and a tour. And it's like take a breath, and then come back and do the next thing.
Speaking of the next thing, the new Foo Fighters record.
It came in a flash. Yes, the new Foo Fighters record. I just wrote a huge thing about this because I saw that there was a track listing for the recording session.
Yeah,
so Greg Kurstin, main producer on this, that has produced the last few records, and if you watch the Hanukkah sessions with Dave Grohl,
you know who that
he's
is.
That guy, just an amazing fucking musician. First of all,
exactly.
But that track listing for the album that would end up becoming But Here We Are is the name of the album. 10 songs on it. They recorded 30.
Yeah.
And we can get into this if you want, but there's a lesson there for all musicians to understand why they recorded 30 to get to 10. But let's talk about the album. Let's talk about Rescued. The lead single.
It's so good.
Rescue Me?
No, I think it's Rescued.
Yeah, I think it's Rescued. Did you watch the live global stream preparing music for concerts?
I did not. I watched highlights of it. I mean, I've been doing other things, but I did see the drummer announcement where they had Chad Smith and Tommy Lee, and then fucking Danny Carey walk in.
Danny Carey.
And like, thanks for grooming the poodles, man. I appreciate it.
Didn't know he could do that.
I watched that, and there's something about like the tragedy of Taylor's death is one thing. I know that there was some circumstances attached to it with regards to previous addictions, shall we say, raising their nasty heads. But like, it was really good for me to see Dave joking and having fun with his friends, even carrying the weight of losing his best friend. So that was
and not mentioning it
once. Yeah.
Not mentioning it. And I think that's the right way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, they closed the chapter with the tribute shows, and put it all out there. I mean, obviously just 6 hours of playing, and Dave Grohl playing bass and drums and singing and all the cavalcade of people that love Taylor showing the respect in different countries on different continents. That's the way you do that if you can, if you're Foo Fighters. And then you take a little time and you come back and life goes on. And it's unfortunate, but we're all blessed that Dave has experience in this.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And he's had to deal with this kind of grief before. That doesn't make it any easier.
Of course.
I mean, personally. Yeah. But as someone, I personally have a pretty high body count of people I've known. Yeah. And I will tell you, it does make it easier.
Yeah.
Because and no matter how close people are to you, whether it's your mom or your best friend or friends you've known for years or people you've played with, like when this stuff happens, once you've gone through that much death, it does get easier.
Yeah.
It doesn't get easier to feel it, but it does get easier to move to the next phase of your life because you do realize very quickly how lucky you are to be here and like, okay, so that's that. I've sat Shiva. It's time to fucking move on. Life is moving on without you. Yeah. And you can either just, I think what really happens to people that haven't gone through tragedy like that, excuse me, is that they do feel like they have to go into a shell because they're not used to their life changing so drastically.
Yeah.
And when you are used to it changing so drastically, then you know, okay, there is going to be another side of this, and it's whatever I make it. I have to start making it now. Got to start moving on.
Yeah.
And one of my maxims is I want to see what's next.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the driving force of staying alive to me, is I want to see what's next.
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like. I don't know whether it's good or bad. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I had that conversation with one of my coaching students. I've got some private coaching musician students who, spend their time and hard-earned time and money with me to help me, kind of guide them through these transitions into professional musicianship. And one of the things I was talking about was they're like, one of the things on this guy's list was, I want to die knowing that I had done all the things I wanted to do. And I was like, hey man, you can go after all the things you want to do, but please know, if you do this right, you will die with a lot of unfinished projects.
Yeah.
Because you always are going to be going to the next thing. And that's one of the beautiful things about this life. You will not be out of things to fucking do. And anybody who tells me they're bored at 65 can suck it, because there's so much shit to fucking do. Go to Spain. Go to Italy. Go learn to kayak. Learn Spanish. Learn how to cut hair. Try to knit. Go paint.
Take up another instrument.
A picture.
Like, yeah, I could name 10 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Jump rope.
Watch your hips.
Learn how to hula.
Yeah. There's so many things to do that, I'm moved by this idea, like, that you will never run out of things to do, especially as a creative person. If you're, everybody's got a creative part of them, no matter what you do. I don't give a shit if you're a garbage man or you fucking data entry, whatever. There's a piece of you that's a creative person. And as a creative person, you will never, if you choose to, run out of things to do. Yeah. And I love that even after all of the tragedy and things we see some of our favorite artists and some of our favorite people go through, such as you, I'm grateful that you're still here and still making shit.
Yeah, and I constantly feel behind.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah, I have 300 songs I need to record right now.
Yeah.
And I wrote one last week.
Why don't you try starting with song 1?
Yeah, well, I
Or maybe song 2. Woohoo!
Yeah, I'm gonna. And so, yeah, Blur. Thank you. That was good. Let's fan this out. Like, I mean, I think we've kind of covered sort of the general things, but about this Foo Fighters thing, the record is great. Mm-hmm. It's seriously great.
Yeah.
My favorite record is Nothing Left to Lose. I do think it's in my top 10 records of all time. Albums, yes. Like every song, not a skip on it. And there's songs that are never going to be a single that are brilliant. Yeah. Aurora is brilliant, and there are songs like that are amazing. And this album, first of all, the mix. Mm-hmm. It sounds like it was recorded in 96. Yeah. Like, it's so warm and analog-y.
I wonder why. Does he own some piece of music history and keep it in his house?
I know. It's amazing, like, what they've done sonically. And that's not going to be talked about a whole lot, probably, which is fine.
Yeah. Be talked about by us. We love the way that sounds.
But how you come to this level and Hall of Fame years later, 27 years, whatever the band's been together, and after Nirvana, after all of the stuff, after a drummer dies, and you're able to come out with this kind of record, and like, I can't stop listening to Rescued.
Yeah.
I love the guitar part. It's got a riff. Yeah. It's got a chorus. It's got a killer bridge that gets riled up. And it's so fucking Foo Fighters. Oh, yeah. It's got some yelling in it, some soft singing. It's so Dave. Yeah. And like, for people to really get a hold of this idea that, like, how you can record a song coming back from all of this that sounds like your band. It's a feat to do. Yeah. It's not easy. That is not easy to do.
Not at all.
And to sound original and fresh and new, and it fits 2023 and it's emotional, all in this whole world that we're living in. it's damn near magical that they're able to do it at all.
Yeah.
And also, let's touch on this. Josh Freese, the new drummer.
Fucking amazing. He's so good.
Totally a drummer's drummer.
Yeah.
Played with Nine Inch Nails and Devo and the list just goes on. And a studio guy, a road dog, a plug-in kind of guy that will just learn and kill it.
Yeah. The 21st century Kenny Aronoff.
Yeah. One of my friends is just upset as hell that it wasn't Rufus Taylor.
Yeah.
Of course, the drummer
Darkness.
from The Darkness, who is the son of Roger Taylor from Queen, who unfortunately looks a lot like Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah. And his last name is Taylor.
And his name is Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for the people that are wondering why that happened, I do have a little bit of info about this, is that Josh is older.
Yeah.
He's got kids. He is of that age. These are dads. Yeah. They've been around so long. I mean, I think Pat Smear might be able to be getting Social Security.
Yeah, I think he's getting
now.
an AARP card.
They all have AARP cards.
Exactly.
And so you got to understand, when you join Foo Fighters and you go on what's going to end up being a 1.5 year tour around literally the globe.
Yeah.
Australia, Asia, South America, all over the place.
Yeah.
And you run an album cycle with Foo Fighters. It's a machine.
Yeah.
They employ hundreds and hundreds of people every year. And that means you're together. You're a family, you're a band or whatever. Look, Rufus, I think, is 28 or 30.
Yeah.
And so Josh has stories about playing drums at Disney in the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes Pat Smear smile.
Yeah.
He has road stories about what it was like in the early 90s in a van in punk clubs.
Yeah.
And that makes Dave smile.
Yeah.
Those are all things like Shiflett can understand him.
Yeah.
And these are things where they're like, oh, my kid's sick, or my wife, she's bitching about me. Like, that's who you need in that kind of project at this time in their life.
Agreed.
That, all things being equal, if both drummers are about equal, I would pick Josh as well.
Yeah.
However, I will also say, technically, I think Josh is the right drummer. I think that Josh has the panache, and he has a little bit of industrial metal side to him that he's had to play. That Foo Fighters needs.
Yeah.
They're tighter, dude. No shade on Taylor.
Yeah.
That was what it was.
Yeah.
But it's just a new thing. He's learned the songs as they were.
Yeah.
There's no bad habits. And so he has the right tempos. Watching them play All My Life.
Yeah.
All my life I've been looking for. Watching them play that at the right tempo, Dave was struggling.
Yeah.
Because Josh knows how fast it is. And they got into a little bit of laziness with that. So bringing in the new guy, it makes you all go, fuck, I better pay attention. Like, my downstrokes need to be faster. I need to be better at this. And how invigorating and lovely that is for the band, I would think. It's great to watch as a fan. And I think they've made the right decision. And I think the majority of fans, I think, agree.
I think so, too.
Which, by the way, that is not guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
This could have been like, fuck them. No one can ever replace Taylor. That's my favorite band. We don't care. This new album sucks. You know what I mean? That could have happened.
No, I disagree.
And it didn't.
I disagree that could have happened. I think that there is so much love for that band that the way that everybody in the band grieved the loss of their brother in arms, there was no way that the person that came in to take that place, there was an understanding that this was not a replacement. This was a new chapter. Yes, exactly. I think that was. I don't think it was possible because of the people that were involved for the fans to reject Josh Freese. I just don't think it was possible because his credibility speaks for itself. I mean, he's
musician wise, but I don't think fans know that.
Maybe not. But I mean, it. I think that the way that Dave and the band dealt with the passing of Taylor allowed them the freedom to kind of do what they needed to do and want to do. And that's been the history of that band. It's always been that thing. He is in the pit with you. He is the biggest fan of this music with you. And I think that that's what allows it to be this, what's allowed it to evolve. He didn't want it to evolve. It had to evolve because of, unfortunate circumstances. And the fans felt that too, because they knew that when it came down to the pit, Dave was in the pit with them.
Yeah, no, that's very true. No, I'm just saying that, like, it's not a given that you can pull this off.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
And like, I've seen the Foo Fighters every single time they've come through Denver, and I am probably, it's one of my favorite bands of all time. And of course, I love Dave as a human, songwriter, human. Yeah. The way he is, the way he treats his mom, his writing, the barbecue stuff, all of it, right? You just can't beat Dave. But I'm even so. Look, I'm not a fan of every single damn song. I'm not going to listen to bad songs because I love the band, even the best fans in the world. Yeah. And I'm telling you, like Rescued and Underneath You or whatever, Give From Underneath You, I'm listening to those as a fan because the song does something for me. It is recorded that well. It's performed that well. It's that good of a song. Yeah. And so to be able to do that and actually realistically do that is impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah.
And I also love that they're going to be doing a lot of stuff from the last two albums. Not every song on the last two albums were good. But there were 2 or 3 standout songs that they're going to be playing live that are fantastic. Yeah. And I'm glad they're going to be in the set now.
I think that there's this for artists that are, just up and coming and doing their thing. One of the things that I have taken from the Foo Fighters' success and from Dave Grohl's success is when you meet Dave Grohl, and have you met him? I've met him once. I've met him a couple times at a couple different festivals.
Yeah. Not deeply though. No.
And he is exactly who you want. He is. Yeah. That's who he is. And so
I love him so much I didn't want to bug him. like I didn't want to get a picture.
Oh no, I don't
want to talk to him and talk about all the shit. I just, hey man.
Yeah, I don't. But that's not the experience I want to have either. Nobody's around. I don't give a shit about photographs. I want to be in a human experience with somebody, whoever they are. Yeah. Right. And so the other shit doesn't matter to me. And he is that person. He is that excited, and that. I mean, he's a human. He's going to have his moods, and he's going to be that kind of. But he's that guy. He is Dave Grohl. There's nobody. He's not putting on airs. There's no pretense. That's who he is. He is a fan, and he is happy as a fucking pig in shit doing what he's doing. And if you are going to have yourself a music career, and you're going to have a satisfying, fulfilling, lifetime obsession with being this thing, you have to be you. Anything less will fucking infuriate you, and it will burn you out.
Yeah. I also think for musicians and young bands starting out, there's a really good lesson with Foo Fighters here as well, is that this has happened with almost every band okay? The lineup changes.
Yeah.
There was and you almost break up. A lot of bands they almost broke up a few times. When Dave went over to Queens of the Stone Age and Chevy Metal Van was starting, and there was a whole lot of talk like this might be it. And but in the beginning there was a different guitarist, and he was a very close friend, and he just couldn't hack it as well. And before Shiflett comes in. And, you have these things, different drummers that happen and different players. Pat's in, Pat's out, Pat's back in.
Pat does Pat.
There's a whole lot. And the early part, Pat could be there whenever the fuck he wanted. That's on him, because Dave was like, whatever, it's Pat Smear. He's more of a Pat Smear fan than he is a Foo Fighters fan.
I love the germs.
Aren't we all? I would love Pat. Yeah. But, Nate thought that Sunny Day Real Estate was going to be bigger, and technically at the time, they were going to be bigger than Foo Fighters. He had a hard decision to make. And so it's, listen, whoever you're looking at in the rehearsal space right now, and as much as you're a band of brothers and and sisters, whatever, that's a family, just do understand that the music is the most important thing, and that the bass player might not be there in a few years. Yeah. You have to keep going. Yeah. one way or the other.
Yeah.
It may be another band. It may be just you. You may replace people. But like that is not the end all.
Yeah.
And I know what it felt like at 22, 24 to be looking at the band and going, oh no, I couldn't imagine anyone being here. And boom, we replaced our guitarist. And we were nobody.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a huge problem with our fans. And then that guy didn't work out because he couldn't tour. And then we replaced the other guitarist. And like, it does happen. And so just to understand that music and the band life, an artist's life, man, if you want to stick around, it's probably not going to look the same. And you got to get next to that right now.
And that's...
Pay attention to the things that matter.
Yeah. And that's why you got to get your paperwork in order.
That's right. That's
because that guy standing next to you that's your brother right now may not be there in a few years, and you may still want to do something.
He might be a co-writer.
He might be a co-writer. And you need it.
And part of the LLC at the time that the songs were written and recorded, and that means he's part of the master ownership. And you better fucking change your LLC with the managers and the members. Kelsey's like, hey, listen, we have that on one of the rundowns.
We do.
We should talk about that.
Yeah.
But okay, I want to, because this is kind of a Foo Fighters episode, and we're basically here anyway.
Yeah.
And we'll post this. I'll go ahead and post this. But I want to talk about why you should record more songs than you're going to release.
Yes.
Okay, so the last album, like I mentioned in the beginning of this, there's a list that comes out that Foo Fighters released. There was 30 songs that were part of the recording session. But Here We Are is the name of the album. And as you will notice if you Google it or if you've listened, there are only 10 songs on it. And so why is that? What is the reasoning behind that? Why would you record 30 songs knowing you're not going to put out 30 songs, right? You're not going to do a triple album. You're not going to do that. So why would you do that? This is kind of an old school band producer thing to do. But it needs to come back. Stu and I have talked about this before, where we've talked about the idea of you do release singles one at a time. But there is something very important about recording an album. And that is because an album is a snapshot of time. It's a snapshot of emotion in the writer's life, in the band's life, in the world, in the listener, right? For your fans. You don't want to write a whole album about 60 civil rights today, although you could update it.
Right.
But there are certain things that maybe you don't write about right now that matter in the world, that make you contemporary, that make you part of the mirror of society. And so, so anyway, why would you do all of that sort of thing? And there are three main reasons. We've talked about one of the main reasons to record an album is that you get tighter as a band, you get better at recording, you get a better relationship with the producer, with the mixing engineers, everyone. You know, if you're just going in for one song, look, that's a day rate and you're out the door. Here's your session. But if you're doing an album, they want to get to know you. Where are you at right now? Why are you doing this song? Why that line? Why this line? Hey, over a certain amount of time, maybe you get a different guitar. Maybe you got some new equipment. Maybe someone brings in a different amp to the session. There are a lot of things musically that recording an album really help musicians accomplish that you don't think about at the time. But God, certainly by the time you're recording your third album, your fourth album, you know, you're like, we've been down this road. I know how I want to record. I like playing guitar in the morning, or my voice is best raspy at midnight. There are things you learn by doing. But so here's one of the things, and then I want to get some of your point of view, so I'm not just talking the whole time here. But
I've talked enough.
One of the reasons why you have these 30 songs that you bring in as a writer, as a band, is that sometimes best practices, you don't get the magic on a certain song. You may think, man, this is a great song, and you may have even rehearsed it, and the band's like, fuck yeah. The drummer's like, I love that. The bass player's like, oh, I love my part on that. And you get to the studio, and it's just not there. And you do it another day, and it's just not there. And you try to make some changes, and you got to move on. And so that's a good thing. That's a good thing, to where if that's only one of the 10 songs you bring into the session, hey, that's what you got to live with now. But this way you can take that and go, okay, that's not there. Let's finish it. Let's move on. Let's go to number 15, right? So that's one thing. Second, again, by attempting 30 songs and learning 30 songs on your instrument, on your parts, you're going to get better as a musician.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get better. You've got different keys. You're playing in different tunings. You've got to remember tricks. You also get better at flavor, right? Like, talk about this as a guitarist. As a soloist, or as someone writing riffs, well, if you're staring down the barrel at 30 of them,
Yeah.
you know whether or not you're stealing from yourself. You know whether or not you're like on this 16th song, you're like, that solo sucks compared to the 4th song we just did. You know, I got to work harder at that. Or the bass player is like, yeah, I've just been walking all over everything. Maybe I should do something against the backbeat on this. You know, same thing with the drummer. Maybe I should come up with some different patterns here.
Yeah.
It forces you as a musician to become more musical. And to challenge yourself. Agreed. What do you think about that? Like, from a guitarist and a singer standpoint, a songwriter, like, don't you feel like you kind of push yourself more when you have more material?
I do. I think that...
or do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree.
Okay.
I don't not disagree.
I don't
disagree. Here, I'm gonna come at it from the producer place, the telling of the story. If I'm sitting in the chair, and I have a band in there, and we're gonna be. I mean, I just got done with a record that took a year to make.
Right.
Over a year to make. And that was, due to a variety of items, and I know
always is.
as a variety of things. It wasn't a year spent in the studio, but it was a year of my time. And as I was, we recorded all the meat and potatoes last year in April, and I got done with I got done with the masters last week. And the evolution as a just for me as a mix engineer has drastically changed. Now, as an artist in the studio, just like anything else, you've got your productive times and you've got your not productive times. I am most productive. I'm a weird musician. I'm productive between 7 and 2. Right, so I'm out of productive time right now. Yes, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Right, that is when I'm productive.
You are what's called a lunch pail musician.
I am a lunch pail musician. I've never heard that before. So
you have it. It's a session thing.
And so that's when I'm
You got lunch pail guys and you got champagne guys.
Champagne guys.
Lunch pail guys are morning, and champagne guys are like cheersing at midnight.
And that comes from like,
and then there's smackheads.
Yeah, and then there's smackheads. Just like whatever you need, man. Give me a bump. I'm on my way. And I can be.
I need the 250.
I need my money now.
Okay.
I know for a fact that that's not true for the artists I work with, but most of the people I work with in short. Whether I work with them for 3 to 6 months or I work with them for a week or 3 days, most people who come into the studio have no idea when they do their best work. I'm the one that has to figure that out for them at first.
Right.
Now, as time goes on, I recognize, he's better here, he's better here, he's better here. What's the best time to get the rhythm section doing their thing? When does the singer work? When does this work? When does this work? And so, I'm paying attention to that as a producer because it's my job to manage the people and get the best thing out of them possible. And then when they leave my studio, they are in a better place to make that decision for themselves. If they come in with 10 songs, they're recording 5. That's my rule. And the reason that's my rule is because, number one, all 10 of those songs are not great.
They just
are not going to be great, and that's okay.
And they're not from us or any major artist or great songwriter. It's the same for everybody.
I was talking to somebody about Film and Sync today about they're like, well, I kind of want to start getting into the world. I was like, well, then you're writing 50 songs a week. Yeah. If that's where you want to go and that's all you want to do, you're writing. I mean, I've got a friend of mine out in Nashville.
They're a minute and a half long.
They're a minute and a half long, but you're writing 50 something or 30 to 50 things a week. And my buddy Corey Lee out in Tennessee, he is writing I think he told me once 3,000 songs a year.
Man.
And that means that he and you know, of those 3,000, he loves it. He does co-writes. He's like, I mean, he's got people coming through his office like changing like underwear. Oh, you're in my 2 to 4 session, and you're into my 4:15 to 6:15 session. You're in my 8:30 to 10:30 session. Like, he's got people coming in all the time. And he's doing it full time, and he's fucking great at it. He's this is my nickname for him. He's the Hallmark King. He's got a fuckload of songs in, like when the holiday season pops up. But he's writing that many songs, and they're not all working. They're not all placing. They're not all working for the artist he even writes them with. Because those people also have their own story to tell, and they have their own thing they're trying to make happen. And, if you're like me, I like so many different genres of music. Right. Every day is like, I could be listening to Meshuggah, and then I'm listening to Bill Withers, and then I'm listening to NWA, and then I'm listening to Kenny G. Not really. I'm not really listening to Kenny G. I might be listening to the Berlin Philharmonic or something like that, right? And all of those influences go into me as a songwriter. So that means that one day I've written 4 R&B songs, 3 metal songs, and 9 pop songs. And not all of those songs work together. So not only do not all those songs work together, now not all the stories I'm telling in those songs work together, because every song is a story. So at the new Foo Fighters record, that story is very clear with the songs they chose. This is the story we're choosing to tell right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's a piece that almost every songwriter I've worked with believes that the newest song they wrote is their best song. That's not true, right?
No, you want
it to be, but that's not necessarily true. It might be, but for the most part, and that's why I think we get this rush from artists to just, I wrote the greatest new song, I recorded it, and now I'm putting it out because I want everybody to hear it because it's my best song, right? It's my best thing, and so please tell me I'm pretty because this is my best song. But giving these songs some time to become kimchi and pickle them in a jar for a little while, let them sit there, it's gonna be better in the long run.
Let that bitch breathe.
I was talking to somebody today about the yes, no, maybe folders that I have on my computers, which is when I write something, I give it a week. So I write something on one day and I'll record a demo version of it and I'll listen to it for a week. And then at the end of that week, I will decide yes, no, maybe. So, and that means that even when it's a no, I still don't get rid of it, but it sits in the no folder. So it gives yes, and so the maybe is something I'll revisit later, and the no's I revisit them on different timetables. The maybes I'll revisit once a month. The no's I'll revisit every 3 to 6 months, just to see.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So
I do it a little bit different than that. I do it where I do the earworm test. So like I write something, and I don't commit it to paper to DAW. Until I'm in the kitchen and singing.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And if it's a hook that I think is a good hook, like this happens to me all the time late at night, watching something, blah blah blah, and then I got a hook in my head. I'll go to Voice App and I'll drop it in there just so that I have it and sort of get the melody out and maybe the words that I thought were cool or whatever, and then I will wait. If it comes back from the universe, if the muse is like, psst, remember this, and that's when I commit to it. And then I go back about every month and I go through those things and I'm like, oh shit, that's actually better than I thought. I needed to listen to it a few more times. But the ones that stick in my head that I can't stop thinking about, and a lot of times it happens on a twist. Like if there's a pre-chorus into a chorus and I love the lift of it, but I can't figure out how to make it perfectly timed, or there's like one word is wrong rhythmically, I will just sing that song in my head for days until I get it, and then I commit. If I get it, then I commit to it. So we all have our process.
I think the idea of, you don't have to get rid of it, but you have to be able to perform a certain degree of battlefield triage on your music. And that's why you have a producer as well. I'm working with a person right now where she gave me a fuckload of stuff and said, what do you think? And I went through and I gave notes on every single thing, and and it was like I think I highlighted 6 songs as yes. This is kind of a cool area, and there was 3 songs that were yellow maybe. So green means go, and yellow means maybe, and red means no. And it was out of probably 20, 30 songs. There was 6 that I thought would be good. And I was like, that's pretty good. And they were all a little. I had to go. This is a single. This is a single. This is an album track. This is a single. This is a single. Right, and this is an album track. And I said, this is a really great album track, but it's not. You're not going to be able to release this as a single. It's just not that type of thing.
And you know what we call that? A deep cut.
Deep cuts.
We love deep cut Betties.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Deep cut Betties. They tell you about that 8th track. That's the best song on that album that nobody cares about. Deep
That's
cut.
the what was that? We talked about the greatest hits of George Michael.
That's right. Yeah.
Like they're like,
exactly.
This is not a hit.
This is not a hit. This wasn't even a song.
But I think that's not even him singing. That's the hard part as an artist, especially if we fall in love with something. It's a balancing act, because as a producer, I'm like, I love you as an artist, and I respect you, and I am here to listen to your opinion. I disagree with you that this is a single. I think this is you can absolutely record this song, and then once you have it on tape, you can make a decision about what to do with it. But I don't think it is. But
that's a great point. Like, as a this is why it's called recording artist. Is that you're a songwriter? That's a hat, right? You're a musician. That's a hat. And then when you go into the recording process with a producer and a mixer, and you're having to put all these things together in the pot, it may be something where the producer doesn't get the vision, or you're not able to communicate it well. But like, if you do like it, fight for it.
Absolutely.
Make it great.
I agree.
Make it great. Like right now, it's an album track. You think it's a single? Prove it to me.
Warren,
and because if you can't prove it to me,
how are you going to prove it to them?
Fuck, you think that someone's going to get on a playlist, in the middle they're going to give it one listen on the subway, and you think that it's going to prove to them? Fight for it if that's what it is. And that's why you got to have so many choices for the producer. I think another thing that I want to touch on here real quick from the producer standpoint that you brought up is knowing when you are best positioned to perform a recording, to do your performance. So you're a 7 to 2 guy. And I think, and I remember these days, and I know you do too, a lot of young bands that are listening to this, you by nature are used to recording, or you're used to playing gigs
at 11 o'clock at
9 o'clock. Nine to 1 or whatever, right? Somewhere around there. You're also used to rehearsing at night. We get together, we have a few beers or whatever, a few joints, we rehearse. You don't rehearse at 10 a.m. Most of you don't,
unless you're getting ready for the next Taylor Swift tour, and then you're rehearsing between 10 and 6.
But see, this is where professionals come in, where it's like in real time, in real life, that studio calls at 10 o'clock for your time to come in, 10 a.m. In real time, you are doing tour rehearsals at 9 a.m. And you get lunch break, and then 1 to 6 and, whatever. And so as a young band, you need to break out of what you're used to doing. You're rehearsing and you're playing gigs on Friday or Saturday night to find out that maybe you are better at playing technical things or getting the best out of your voice at noon. And the only way you do that is by recording more. And that may be at home. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars to find this out. But you should be working with a producer at some point, have some feedback in this to be like, you know what? I love your voice in the morning. I do. I like the feel of it. You warmed up just the right amount. You don't have too much fry on it. Whatever it is. Or look, you're just better focused when on the guitar parts where I can go, hey, I need another take. I need another take. I need another take. A little slower this time. Where you might be better at doing that at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so you got to learn those things by going through the process. You're not going to learn them, and no one's ever going to tell you it. Because as a band, I know right now, you're just trying to save money to record. Right? You're playing the gigs, you're rehearsing, you're trying to do whatever, and you'll just get in whenever you can and hope for the best. We're trying to give you some shortcuts here. on to get to greatness, because that's the only thing that's going to save you.
No, that's an interesting way to put it. Warren Hewitt had a thing this week where he was talking about how does he manage like conflict in the studio. He goes, it literally takes 7 minutes to figure out if an idea works or not. So he goes, so it's
agree.
not
fairly quickly.
So like try it out, see how it feels, see how it works. And then he goes, you can spend 30 minutes arguing with somebody about why this won't work, or you can try it for 7 minutes and have it not work on its own.
Roll the tape.
Yeah. So
and make those changes on the fly. Go, okay, let's try it at 110 BPM. Or you know what? Let's try a baritone guitar. Or you know what? Let's just do the bass. Or you know what? Let's try it a cappella. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's the instrumentation that we're missing.
There are some artists,
and you can get through that in about 10 minutes and figure out, do we have something here?
There are some artists that are that I have worked with in the studio that are a little bit stubborn when it comes to that kind of stuff. With regards to, like if we're doing a guitar take, say. I'm not saying it's a guitar player, but I am saying it's a guitar player, where the part isn't working, and I know how to get it to work, and I will say, here's an idea. Why don't we try nope, just do this, okay? And then we'll spend an hour and a half working on it instead of 15 minutes. And so it's learning. I also have to learn to pick battles.
I mean, that's really what a producer does, right? Is you got to manage both of those sides of it. So let's get back to this list of 32, and again, we'll be posting this. And this goes along with everything we were just talking about. Another main reason to come into the studio with a lot. Now, first of all, you're not all going to be able. First of all, a lot of you aren't going to be able to write 30 songs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just true. You're young in your career. Maybe you don't have that muscle worked yet. But you can and you may not be able to have the budget to record 30 songs, even 30 demos.
You can demo them out at home, and it's
you can demo them out at home, but it's still, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I get it. You got a job, you're playing in a band, you got a girlfriend, you got a dog. It's a lot. I get it. And I don't want to be that guy that's like, choose, you want to be a fucking musician or not. I'm not that guy. I get you. You need a life too. But
otherwise, you have nothing to write about.
Shoot for it. Go for 50. If you're going to do an album that has 10 songs, shoot for 15. It's same thing with an EP. So you're going to release an EP because that's the money you got as a band or as an artist. Fine. Shoot for writing 10 or 12 songs. So you have, it's having the leeway on top of it. And here's one of the main reasons why. And everyone that's ever recorded a record will tell you this. Any songwriter will tell you this. Anyone worth their salt. And it is this. Often parts of songs that don't work end up in another song. You may have a song that you've been writing and you kind of dig it. It's just not working. But damn, if you just pull this part, it's the perfect bridge for song 4. It's perfect. Now song 4 is great. It lifts it. Or it may be that chorus hook is the verse of the song that you're going to throw away. But because you have so many songs, it forces you not to be so precious about every single song. And I get it. When you're young and starting out, it's precious. You wrote a song. No one writes songs. You've done something amazing. You've changed the world. Out of the air, you have plucked melodies and rhythms and behind. It's amazing. When you get to be a professional, you will start realizing that most of it is shit and that you need to destroy some things to create great songs. And everybody goes through this, but you will get there quicker if you come in with more options, because you will not feel bad about throwing away song 27 because that one little part, you're like, oh my God, that little rhythm trick there, we should use that as an intro on this. And by the way, I will tell you as a songwriter, this often comes up from the other people who aren't writers. Like your drummer, and I'm not saying that drummers aren't songwriters, but usually not.
Dave Grohl.
Hi, Neil Peart. Dave Grohl. Let's just keep going. But I'm just saying that, like in most traditional bands, the songwriter may not be the primary, the drummer may not be the primary songwriter. But often they can hear things that you can't because you're trying to hear the guitar part and the vocal melody. And so they may go, you know what? that'd be killer fucking intro for song 3.
Yeah.
Let's try that. That's why you have these extra songs. You will make a better thing by destroying what isn't working. You're going to be able to do that and not feel guilty because you're nowhere near getting to the 10 or the 6 that you're going to record.
I think that's the part that with my yes, no, maybe piles is if even in the no box, there's a riff in there or there's a little turnaround or something like that. It's like,
or a line
or something I'm keeping. I'm keeping this for a reason. There's something here I want to use. And I want to revisit it enough that I have it as a tool up here in my head, in my brainsicles, so that when I'm in a spot where I'm like, I like 90% of this song, but this bridge is fucking me up. Oh yeah, when I take the bridge from that. That's exactly, that's a perfect reason to have 35 songs versus just the songs you're going to record.
And let's define this a little bit. When we say songs, a lot of times some of these, and that doesn't mean they're all fully realized, intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, outro, bridge, that doesn't mean that they're all like that. A lot of times some of these are bare bone melody hook songs. Some of them are verse and chorus. Some of them are just a chorus. And you're like, when we get together with the band, we'll work out like what the rhythm should be on the verse or whatever. And I haven't come up with all the words, but I got kind of the rhythm of what I'm going to sing. So understand when we say songs, when you're in pre-production, which is what this is, pre-production, it should be in consultation with the producer and with the band. But when you're in pre-production, that's what we're saying this song list comes from. Not all of them are full songs that you wrote 5 years ago, and they shouldn't be. They should be new. They should be of the moment. Again, this is a snapshot in time, a snapshot of emotion. And when you're recording, it's a literal, I talk about this all the time with recording students. You are recording the air in which you live. And that matters. It matters that air that came in the microphone, the air on reverberating around the strings on the drums, that air is of 2023 in June.
Oh, that's not evergreen content.
Matters. Shut up, Kelsey. So I just, So like to wrap this up, there's a good reason to record, set out, bring in a lot of more songs that you plan on finishing up with. It will help you sequence an album that is a story. It will help you become a better musician, a better band, a better relationship with the producer. I'll also tell you this, from a professional standpoint, you get some fucking points from me. Like immediately you come in and you're like, here, I like the gal you're working with, or like, I got 12 here. I got 20 here. Tell me what's good, what's bad. Okay. Now I know you're playing the game right. Now I know that you aren't precious about every little thing you've ever done. And you don't think you're some, savant. And you realize that even Paul McCartney wrote a shitty song last week. You realize that. You realize that you're part of the world of music that does things a certain way, and there are really good reasons for it. And it's going to help you and the band and the producer and your recording career and you down the road. And these songs don't disappear. This is just the time. And by the way, then when you die, you're going to have a vault full of music.
That was the thing I was going to say. There's we've had versions of Freddie Mercury recordings. We've got Prince recordings. We've got all of these things that are just sitting in vaults somewhere because these were consistently creating people. Like Prince. I mean, if you've ever visited Paisley Park, it's like it's a living, breathing, creative space. And I had an old acquaintance of mine who was one of his musicians, and you'd be 1 o'clock in the morning, you get a call to show up at and rehearse because he had an idea, he wanted to get it down. So having all of that stuff just be there, you're building a catalog, you're building a thing that will live beyond you. And isn't that the goal for all of us to leave a legacy behind that we could be proud of?
That absolutely is the goal. And the other thing, if I got into an argument with an old head about this earlier today, which will not be named.
Is it somebody I know? I know exactly who it is.
It's an animal. But they're like, people write songs for introspectiveness and very personal reasons and all that. I was like, a lot of people write poetry in a journal too. That's not who I'm talking to here. I'm talking to people who are serious about making a living with music. Like, you want to write songs however you want to write them, and you don't want to care about the shit we're talking about. We're not talking to you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, write that. Be a hobbyist, write songs, have fun. Yeah. Do that. But we're trying to hone in on the people that are like, this is what I want to do. This is who I am and who I will be, and I want to become better at it. Look, we're a little bit seasoned, let's say, and so we're trying to give you some hints to get to there quicker. We had to learn this all the hard way, and so
that's what she said.
This is why we're kind of talking about this. So there you go. No matter what you're doing recording wise, first of all, songwriters write songs. Write songs. Just keep writing. And when you go in to figure out whether or not you're going to record with somebody or record a thing, come in with many more songs than you plan on releasing. That's going to help you for all of the reasons that we said before. And you're going to be just fine. And you're gonna one of those is gonna be so good. Yeah. It's gonna be so good.
Sorry, I just noticed my phone was making a whole lot of noise by leaning on the wrong thing, so I'm going to put that over there. All right. Hi.
So Kelsey says, what was it? That was not the rundown. That's what she said. We will move that to the next fucking week. But
no, we talked about at least item 1 on the rundown. We
did. That's Kelsey. We did. It was right there.
Yeah.
Right there. Ted Lasso, Succession, Bear. I see it.
Yeah.
And we also did Start Talking.
Yeah.
That's
so we did 2 of the. That's better than usual.
Right. That is right. You don't come here for that. Okay, so let's get to the Sync of the Week. The Sync of the Week. I'm pretty excited about this one for me. And you have yours? You want me to start with mine?
Well, normally we start with yours. I would like to start with mine, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Mine is from the season finale of Barry, and it was the use of more than words.
Yes. I thought about you when that happened.
It was so fucking good. Scene with guns and a Walmart.
It
was so good. And also the song before that was Finally by CeCe Peniston, if you will. And I loved the juxtaposition of those two songs with the intensity of that scene, and Bill Hader is magnificent in it. And but More Than Words was so
very quickly, kids. More Than Words, a huge song from a band called Extreme, who has a new album out, by the way. But this is a '90s acoustic ballad that if you were a dude or a chick in a party and you knew how to play and sing this song, you're getting laid tonight. You're getting laid tonight. Go look up Jimmy Fallon and Jack Black doing it. It is a legendary song. If you don't know about it, you do need to know about it.
Yeah.
And Nuno is, I believe, Stu's.
He's in my top 5 guitar.
1A.
He's probably. Oh man, that's a tough one. Brian May is always number 1.
Brian May is one.
But Nuno is the. He's got great riffs and he's got great feel, and he plays with Rihanna. Not like that, but he's not Daddy a Baby number 2.
But you are very much a Nuno player because you've got so many styles, but you have your own style, and you're technically proficient, but you can be excitingly sloppy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can nail
I can
things
Jimmy
with
Page
emotion
if I need to.
Yeah. So it's not smashing Jimmy Page.
I can just not show up.
Come at me, bitches. Come at me. Jimmy Page is a hack.
Not show up and
if
have
Pro Tools existed when Led Zeppelin happened, they would not be a big band. There you go.
I can just not.
That's not my take. That's someone else's
I can just not show up and have John Paul Jones do it for me. Exactly.
That's right.
Okay, good.
That's right. But More Than Words from Extreme, great song. By the way, I don't know what kind of placement that is, because that would normally be kind of an anachronistic placement because it's not in the time. No. This is supposed to be current, or actually 8 years ahead. Right?
I mean, it's like 8 years in the future, something like that.
Yeah, but it's clearly a Walmart and it's
or it might not be Walmart. It might
guns.
be something Walmart akin.
It's a big box store.
And
yeah, do not sue us.
Let me ask you this question: is there a difference in the sync when it's played? Because it's clearly over an overhead PA system, as other stuff is happening, and it was kind of hard to make out that that's what the song was.
Yeah.
So
no, it's still a
okay.
cue. But the volume level of it isn't like how they place it in the show is not as like it. As long as like the song kind of has to have no dialogue over it in the beginning, so that you know that the song is there. That's usually what labels or publishers will fight for, like in the usage, like at that level when people get called and they say, "Can we use this?" And there's a conversation. That is the conversation that happens. Show me the scene. Sometimes you get script pages, or you get like a little advanced cut of it. Like our friend at Warner, he got some advanced cuts of the scenes, but he didn't really know what the shows were.
Yeah.
You get the like little part. And so when it's a cue, it's not what we call ephemeral, which is like background disappearing music. But that was the brilliance of that, is that they had to lower it to be the overhead mono speaker.
It was so good. It was so good. Yeah.
As the two guns strapped across his back, as he's just walking by the greeter, and they do not give him a second fucking look, as he's just armed to the teeth.
and he is, and there's, I noticed it. They're like Bill Hader has this furrow in his brow, and I noticed it more of like when he was wearing the glasses in some of those scenes. And like knowing like that he'd been listening to those podcasts that make murder righteous, quote unquote. Bill Burr was the voice of. What this whole scene had everything that I just talked about built up to this scene and that moment, and that made me laugh out loud, even though it was really kind of terrifying the way that. The intensity of the scene, it made me very happy. So there you go. Sidebar. That
great placement. Great placement. So again, something for you to understand as a musician and as a songwriter. And if you want to get in the world of sync and music supervision, as someone who's done music supervising, like we've talked about this over and over. Zales is not doing a commercial that says "I love a diamond ring." You're just not placing that song there, right? Any song about a ring, about a diamond, about gold, like that's just not going to happen. This is what music supervision is. It's what would turn your head, what would turn your ear, like what plays into the scene. It becomes a character in the movie, that there is an acoustic ballad that's playing as he's about to go on a rampage. That is music supervision. It's fantastic. Now, let's go the opposite. Mine is from Fubar.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
On Netflix. Yeah. Okay. Full disclosure, I haven't seen it past this song.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is the first episode.
Yeah.
Maybe 14 minutes, 13, 12 minutes, somewhere around there. And it's basically an outdoor fight where there's a chick fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. She's competing in a ring. Chick, female, woman, gal, all of those things. And she's beating up a dude. Dude, guy, whatever, let's go through it. Anyway, so this song is just a personal favorite of mine. I love it. It's from the 90s, and it's called Take It Off by the
Donnas. Nice.
The Donnas is one. They are that is one of the best rock groups from the 90s. It brings up other groups to me. Remember Jet?
Oh, yeah.
Remember some of the, from the late 90s. So, there was a thing going on. There was this band called the Donnas. They're broken up now, unfortunately. There was some physical things that happened. As bands do. But they had a moment, and the huge single was called Take It Off. And it is every bit as cool as Cherry Bomb. It's every bit as cool of like Lita Ford and some of the chick bands
the
of
Runaways.
The past, of rocking. Yes, the Runaways. And it's about like gals being on the road and taking advantage of the guys backstage. Yep. It's fantastic. about like a guy ogling her and like, okay, well, let's see what you got. And like, you want it? Let's see. I loved it. I was on tour when it was out, and I just thought, I loved them so much. I love the Donnas, and it's a song called Take It Off. By the way, the song holds up today. It is just fantastic. It's a rock song, and it's recorded very well. Anyway, it's on Fubar on Netflix. This is that Arnold Schwarzenegger thing that's out. Again, I can't speak to the show yet. It's not a show I would normally watch. It's sort of a popcorn, big action sort of, dumb bro kind of muscle-bound action movie or action show. And I'm usually not down for that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to kind of see where they were going with it. And when it hit that song, I was like, oh, okay. I love this now.
Yeah.
So I'm about to watch a few more episodes at some point. But that is my sync of the week. Take It Off by the Donnas.
I'm trying to find out who produced it. And I cannot
who produced
find...
the Donnas?
Yeah, that particular song. That's what I'm curious about. So that was on... Nope, not that record.
Yeah, they had a few records.
They had a few records. Yeah, they had several records. According to this, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 records. So this would be that one. Let's see.
They had 7?
They had 7 records. No. Oh yeah, it was on songs by Brett Anderson. Yeah, it was on their third. Looks like their third record called "Spend the Night." Let's see, producer. I don't know any of these producers. Jason Carmer and Robert Shrimp.
Robert Shrimp.
Yeah, I know that name.
St. Louis,
Alabama. He's an Alabama guy.
Okay.
Well, that's where he's. I don't know. Engineer for Toast Studios from 1996 until they closed their doors during his work for West Coast rock band The Donnas, for whom he was a live engineer and turned producer. He was an engineer for REM's Up in 2018. He opened his own studio in Montgomery, Alabama in 2018.
Huh.
So,
excellent.
Yeah, there you go. A little Robert Shrimp action. You didn't know that was what you wanted, but it's what you wanted.
Right? I did not know. And also, to wrap that little part up there, the music supervisor on Fubar is Adele Ho. Adele Ho. She did Yellow Rose. So she handled the needle drops on that.
Fantastic.
So thank you so much, Adele. I love more women music supervisors, and I love that you pulled a rock song.
Yeah. Thank you.
So fucking good. So there is that. There is a music. So is there anything else we need to tell the fine people other than email us 2shotsmusicpod@gmail.com, and anywhere you're on your socials, you can follow us at 2shotsmusicpod. I got one thing. I got to think. Well, go ahead. I don't want to.
I'm going to read a review from our Apple Podcast page that made me very happy this week. So if I go down, I'm going to scroll down to the reviews down here. It said, "I find this podcast to be hilarious, informative, and offensive to drummers and insufferable bands from the 90s. 5 stars."
5 stars. Nice.
Anyway, so go ahead.
Would recommend. Hold on for a second. Let me pull something over here. Kelsey, can you hand me that real quick? Did you hear that?
No.
That is champagne popping. Your little podcast that could 2 shots and a royalty check is now charting.
What?
That's right. So we're on Chartable, which is, if you're in podcast land, Chartable is this sort of back end thing where you find out where you're charting and kind of where you stack up against other podcasts.
Charted?
And here's what we found out this week. 2 shots and a royalty check, otherwise known as 2 Shots Music Pod, is your number 40 podcast in Norway. Yeah!
Number 40 in Norway. That there were 39 other podcasts that made it to Norway is pretty exceptional.
Of music in the music category.
Out of all the podcasts, including Marvel Films,
out of all
600.
the music podcasts in Norway, we are 40. I don't know whether there's only 41 or whether there's 5,000.
There's actually 38.
But yeah, that's right. But I was like so excited about it. I was like, oh my God, we're charting in Norway.
Cool.
What's up? So to all of our Norwegian listeners, thank you. We love you, and we should learn how to say that in Norwegian.
Thank you for all the Viking lore. I appreciate
films.
you guys.
I mean, there's got to be a ton of death metal podcasts, right?
Yeah,
in Norway?
black metal. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really...
But like... We seriously are. I'm not making this up. It was number 40 in Norway. And,
hey, congratulations.
And so
it's because you look like a Nordic god as well.
Right? They're like, he's one of us. Oh, no, he's a Jew. So make sure to rate and subscribe us, like us. By the way, you can find this on YouTube as well. If you don't have any of these podcast things, I know you have YouTube. Yeah. And if you don't have YouTube, you're not on the internet. So I don't know what the hell you're doing.
You're not going to find. You're not finding this by listening right now.
But we really do appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah.
Look, we know this isn't going to be 5 million people listening to this. It's small but mighty.
I'm not Joe Rogan.
And we appreciate all of you that are listening to this. We appreciate all of you that interact with us. Some of the bands we've met on Instagram on our Friday Fresh Finds music series that we're doing. We really appreciate all of you guys. And so keep listening, keep sharing it. Tell your friends about it and go, God, you should listen to this podcast. It'd really piss off your mom. and that way we'll get a bunch of people. So until next time, we'll see you next time. And thank you, Norway.
Bye.
Bye.